interesting differences between these two cars as far as sound. We have two Boxsters here. One is the 718 Boxster with the 4-cylinder 2-liter turbocharged flat 4 or Boxster engine right next to a 4-liter flat 6 naturally aspirated engine in the convertible Boxster. The difference is going to be about 90 horsepower, 300 on the 718 and 394 on the 4-liter. So are you going to be able to tell that on the road? What are the differences you're going to notice on the inside of the car? So I'm going to drive both back to back. You'll be able to hear the difference between the 4-cylinder turbocharged and the naturally aspirated 4-liter. This will hopefully help you if you're going to decide whether the $15,000 or $20,000 more that you're going to spend for the 4-liter GTS is going to be worth it to you. So let's go take it around the block. I'll overlay both driving sequences next to each other so you can hear back to back as I switch cars of what they're like. At the end of the video, I'll talk about these two specific cars that are for sale. Contact the store if you're interested in looking at these individual cars. Okay, let's go. We're going to start off in the Boxster 718. This is the 2-liter. It's amazing to me that even though there's a difference of 100 horsepower, they get considerably more horsepower per liter out of the 718 Boxster than the GTS. It's 150 horsepower per liter to make it 300 on a 2-liter. I'm going to put this in sport, and don't worry, I pre-warmed up these cars before taking off here. So interesting differences between these two cars as far as sound. So there's two ways that Porsche handles the sound with both of these engines. On the 718, they have what's called a sound decor or sound decor. I'm not sure if I'll pronounce it right in German, but it's actually a speaker that takes the engine sound, and it's right behind the driver's head, back panel underneath the rear trunk. And it takes that amplified sound and it pumps it in supposedly through the speakers back here to give you a different note on the inside of the car. Nice pops and gurgles, but it's definitely a different sound than the GTS, as you'll see. It sounds muscular, it sounds throaty, but it has a distinct sound. It almost gives me Subaru WRX vibes, if you would call it that. So that sound decor, there's some people that disconnect that, and it supposedly gives the car a completely different sound when you have it disconnected. If you go on the 718 forums, you could see they give you directions on how you could disconnect that speaker from the engine and see how the car sounds. I know the GTS is a faster car by about 0.8 of a second, but this has plenty of grunt. GTS. You can tell a different sound already just on startup. Same with this, I'll put it in sport mode. This, like I said, is a 4-liter naturally aspirated 394 horsepower flat 6 versus the Boxster engine. I think the way they delineate the two is a Boxster engine, the way the pistons move are in direct opposing and to each other, so it cancels out the vibration, versus a flat 6, which has a variable. They're not like firing at the same time. It definitely has a firing order in it. But this compared to the 718, only has 98 horsepower per liter, being a naturally aspirated and a 4-liter engine. So just a different characteristic to the driving experience. Oh my God. That is quite a difference in sound. Now I could tell that it didn't have the grunt of the 2-liter until it got to about, like 5,000 RPM, where the 2-liter definitely has a lower end pull to it. This one you have to keep on the higher end of the rev range to feel that 4-liter power. Oh, but that sound! Oh, wow. I would get such bad gas mileage in this car because all I'd want to do is... Oh my God. All you want to do is get on it to hear that intake of that flat 6. That's glorious. I tell you, it's very GT3-like in its sound vibe, I'd call it. It doesn't rev to 9,000 RPM, but it revs to 7,800. And I haven't even gotten close to that. I think I topped out at 65. I'm going to make a UE here. Okay, here we go. 4, 5. Oh my goodness. Yeah, up after 5,000 RPM, this thing like it's almost like when you're on a boat and you come on plane out of the water. That's what it feels like when you hit 5,000 RPM. It just wah. So as I'm editing this, I just realized that I was so focused on the sound of the car that I forgot to talk about the difference in the way that Porsche handles the sound experience inside the 4-liter GTS engine. So what is called is a sound symposer in the GTS, and the way it's different than the sound d'accord in the 718 is the symposer is like a tube that comes directly off the intake manifold of the GTS, and it's like a little umbilical cord type thing that goes into the cabin of the GTS right behind the passenger compartment. A little tube, a hole. It has a diaphragm in it that pumps in the induction sound into the cabin. Now, I haven't heard of anybody disconnecting that because, like I'm explaining, it sounds so glorious inside the cabin. I don't know why you'd want to get rid of that, but that's the difference in the way the two cars are handled with the sound experience. Back to the video. So the question becomes, is the $20,000 worth it? It depends on the sound that you like to hear. From the GTS standpoint, if this is what a Porsche should sound like to you, then this is what you have to get, because this definitely has more of a 911 now to me, that's worth 20 grand. But I like 911s. But if you want to get into a Porsche and you have a budget, you want to stay under $100,000, you're not going to be faulted for going with the 718. It's just a different driving experience. You're going to have the speed of a Porsche, but you're not necessarily going to have that flat six sing that the 4-liter gives you. The naturally aspirated 4-liter engine is just a masterpiece of Porsche design. These cars are nicely optioned. The 718 has premium package, a sport chrono package, heated ventilated seats, the sport GT steering wheel, the infotainment and navigation package, and also a Bose stereo system. The GTS also has a premium package. It has PASM, but it's not the lowered PASM. Both of them ride on the Carrera S wheels. It has Power Steering Plus, the 14-way seats with memory package, and adaptive cruise control. So if you want prices on both of these cars, right now they're available at Porsche Irvine. The 718 Boxster only has about 120,000 or 120 miles on it. That's right. 120 miles on it. It's basically brand new. It's certified pre-owned. The reason it has so low miles on it, it was purchased as a subscription car, but it wasn't rented out in the amount of time that it needed to. So the store was able to buy it. And so now they could sell it with a 6-year warranty, unlimited miles. It's an awesome deal for a 718 Boxster. So if you want the price on that, you could ask me in the comments. And then the GTS has 8,100 miles on it. It is also a CPO car and is also, has a the remainder of the 4-year warranty, just like the 718, plus 2 years unlimited miles as well as part of the CPO program. So if you'd like any more information on those cars, you could definitely ask me in the comments. If you would like to see another comparison video I recently did between the new 992.1 and 992.2 driving experience back to back, I'll link that above. Other than that, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.